Jennifer Rayner, Paula Freitas, Karen Purdy from Newton Falls, Ohio, Wojo Mom, Mytal Capelli, Fox Hill Dreams, Tina G, Philosophy, Cha-Cha, Kimberly Moss, Here's Xiao, Sarah B, Philip Martin, Cha-Cha, Chrissy M, Patricia Haverkamp. Wait, what? No music? Hold on a second. God damn it. So I'm here dancing like a fool with no tunes. All right, let's fix that. Hold on. Okay, so Chrissy M said, no music, but keep dancing. No, no, God damn it. Welcome, everybody, and happy Monday. Welcome to another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad, and this is Storytime. Gling, gling. Welcome, everybody. Okay, so you got to let me know. Did you hear that animation, the video that I just played? The, what do you call it? The logo screen. Did you guys hear that? At least I need to know that. Cindy C says, can hear that fine. Paula Freitas, yes. Chrissy M, yes. Okay, good. Yes, happy Monday, everybody. It feels weird to me. It feels like a Wednesday, but yes, it is Monday. Janet Moquin is here. Adrian Gladish, Nurse Mitch is here. Jamie from Wisconsin. Gling Gling is fine. Good. Since Gavin Rutherford is here. Gavin Rutherford. That damn Alaskan is also here. Paula Freitas, Misha Oliver, Bernadette H, Vern Williams. God damn, here I am dancing. God, no music, no background. Wait, let's see. Let me just see again. I'm going to try it again, see if you guys can hear this. No? Can you hear? I'm playing music now. No, nothing. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Dan Malaskin says, nopity nope. All right. That's something I'm going to have to figure out. Why is it? I'm not going to figure it out with you guys here on the show. Okay. In any case, then I'm not even going to have my damn stories of the day music. That's all right. I don't care. Let's go ahead and jump into our stories of the day.
Stories of the day.
Okay, stories of the day. Let's do this. Wait, let's see. I'm trying to find a tune that works for the news thing. I have all these limited options. Okay, let's do that one. Okay, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Her confirmation hearing for the Supreme Court began today. We shall discuss. The nutcases on the right are still obsessed with Hunter Biden and his laptop. We'll spend a minute on that or so. We've got more updates on the situation in Ukraine. We'll bring you up to date on that. Our guessing game today is Name That Female Movie Villain. And last but not least, we have a rising star today, and his name is Avi. His name is Avi Schiffman. Avi Schiffman is today's rising star. Okay, and it's funny, it took me a second to tell you what Avi Schiffman's name is, because the music is not the only thing that's busted. This was supposed to be my agenda for the day, but my printer is busted too. So it just printed a bunch of blank sheets and nothing else. So there you have it. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into our random stuff. Those of you who were fortunate enough to tune into the show on Friday were treated to yet another guest. Yes, another interview for Brooklyn Dad. I think this was number 4. Interview number 4 was Mary Trump, and then Peter Morley, and then Malcolm Nance, and then Hoarse Whisperer, aka Mike Goodnow. And I had a great time with him. He's a very, very nice guy. And you guys were terrific. He did hand out some Twitter tips and tricks for those of you. I hope you took note. I'll just remind you, he said line breaks. Line breaks are important. Don't give him a whole block of text. Don't give him, 3 or 4 sentences without a line break. Yeah, it makes it easier on the eye. And then I also shared something called megablock.xyz for those of you who have had issues with swarms of bots bugging you on Twitter. And then this weekend, I acquired some video editing skills. And I put them to use specifically to take this clip. There was a part of the show where I spoke about, or I asked Mike about his Friday night tradition, and you guys know, those of you who are regulars to this show, recently I explained that because of the constant onslaught of really sad, tragic news on TV, it's left a lot of us very vulnerable, fragile, let's say, emotionally fragile. So I took that moment in the show and I edited it to highlight what I felt was the highlight of that episode. Let's take a look.
Of looking for something good in your life, because without that, when everything sucks, if you don't look, you just get consumed by how much everything sucks. Mm-hmm. And often people will DM me during the week and be like, dude, I can't wait until Friday. And it'll be like, my father just tested free of leukemia, or after years and years and years of trying, my partner and I are having a baby, or it'll be things that are the other way around. It'll be, everything has been terrible for me. I lost my partner, I lost my job, my house burned down, and here's one good thing this week, right? And it's just tremendously recentering, it puts you back in the place that matters.
I told you don't do this shit.
Sorry. Sorry. Yeah.
that was great. It was great. I enjoyed adding the little bit of sad piano. That was Wifey's idea, actually. Yeah. It was a great show, and it's easy to have a great show when you have a great guest, and Mike certainly was a great guest, and he had a lot of good things to say. And I hope I can keep it going with my next guest. It was not today, but you will see. Oh, wait, before I forget. after I got all sad on the show, I had to go and do some manly things, like go lumberjack some stuff. And then I had to go wrestling alligators to get my mojo back. Studio LB, I see you there. Thank you. Welcome, Jennifer Rayner with a nice suggestion here. Everyone should start using the hashtag Storytime with BDD. Why didn't I think of that? Thank you. That would be very cool. Thank you for that. So anyway, as I was saying, I hope I can keep it going with my next guest, and that my next guest is going to be, you may have seen her tweets on Twitter. She is not quiet by any stretch of the imagination. Her name is Lindy Lee. She is a politician, a political commentator based out of Pennsylvania. I want to say Philadelphia. And Paulie Teeks got suspended again. Oh, that's sad news. I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, so this episode will be on Wednesday. So please remember, tonight, start sending me, if you have questions for Miss Lindy Lee, DM me your question, and I will be more than happy to share it with her during the show. And just so you know, I am recording this mañana, tomorrow. So got to get me those questions tonight. All right, good. Meanwhile, this weekend, this was movie and mostly TV show watching weekend. There's a show called We Crashed. It's on Apple TV. And hello, Lisa Hathaway. I see you there. There's a show called We Crashed, which is about the very real life company called WeWorks, and it became like a $47 billion corporation. And the whole idea was it created a communal workspace that these guys cashed in on. And I feel like they released this while we're being subjected to like a slew of shows about people getting rich off of people being stupid, just people getting scammed. And at the beginning of this show, the protagonist, who is played by Jared Leto, he's a bit of a douche. He's one of those guys. He's not quite pharma bro douchey, but he's kind of up there douchey, where he's got an assistant who has to like break her neck trying to make sure that the right music is playing before he sets foot in there. And he walks around barefoot in the streets of New York, kind of stupid, but that sort of thing. He's feeling himself, he's believing his own hype. But then as the story, that's like, that's current, and then they take you on a flashback to his early, more modest beginnings when he meets his wife, and you see a love story develop between the two of them. The wife, frankly, she's not a very sympathetic character, played by Anne Hathaway. Not too crazy about her, but he's got some good employees, a good team. and they kind of build this as a love story worth $47 billion. The performances are pretty good. So I think we are 2 or 3 episodes deep into this thing, and I'll let you know how this thing turns out. But so far, I'm enjoying the story. Now, another story that I've also been enjoying, but this is more along the scam type story, is called The Dropout. And it's a true story, another true story about Elizabeth Holmes. Elizabeth Holmes is the creator of a company called Theranos. And the word Theranos is a mixture of therapy and diagnosis. And basically the concept is she was supposed to be inventing a machine that could read your blood. You could diagnose your blood with just one drop. One drop of blood could give you like 10 different tests of your blood. Only problem is there was no technology. There was no actual hardware. She was just scamming people and just, getting people to invest more and more money, knowing damn well there was no chance of inventing this thing. So, and then there was Dope Sick. Dope Sick is another movie. It's not a movie. It's a limited TV series. This was on Hulu, as is The Dropout on Hulu. And Dope Sick is about the Sackler family who came up with this drug, the OxyContin, that basically turned our whole country into a serious opioid epidemic. And then there was Inventing Anna. I mean, it feels like every week there's a new show that's based on a true story about how somebody started with nothing, turned nothing into something, but at the expense of poor, unsuspecting saps. Inventing Anna was also very entertaining too. But again, it's like we are all voyeuristically watching these people sucker, grown, intelligent adults. And the Tinder swindler, another one. This guy swindled, who knows how many women he's swindled, but he never spent a dime of his own money. He would swindle, money from woman A to pay for dates with woman B, and his lifestyle, and it's disgusting. It makes you want to take a shower after watching that. And why are we getting such an onslaught of shows like this? And it makes me think that if these shows had appeared on TV 6 years ago, people got hip to scammings happening, then this jackass would never have been able to put one over on the whole country. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe America is still chock full of enough dopes that even when warned, you're still gonna fall prey to this stupid trap. Anyway, it is still Women's History Month, and Women's History Month continues with our focus on women who have accomplished a great deal. So yesterday was March 20th, and on March 20th in history, excuse me, in 1852, Harriet Beecher Stowe's novel Uncle Tom's Cabin was published, and it later became the best-selling book of the 19th century. And here's a quote from her. It says, "It's a matter of taking the side of the weak against the strong, something the best people have always done." It's a great quote. It's a fantastical quote. And fun fact, I don't know how fun this is, but when we refer to someone as an Uncle Tom, it usually refers to someone who is black, who is kind of a sellout, right? Whose behavior and his actions are all towards the benefit or work against black people to the benefit of the white oppressors, right? But that's actually not how Tom, in the story, in the book Uncle Tom's Cabin, Tom actually he sacrificed himself. He was beaten to death for refusing to betray the whereabouts of two other enslaved people. Tom was a hero in this book. He was a hero, cost him his life, keeping his mouth shut. He was not the subservient sellout that later on, the stage version of Uncle Tom's Cabin, that's who he became. And that's really sad. Also, March 21st. Oh, shit. Today is March 21st, you guys. So how did I forget this? 2 years ago, March 21st, was when I published The Littlest President. Yes, The Littlest President officially went on sale March 21st, 2020. Yay! I totally forgot. But anyway, March 21st in 1986, Debbie Thomas became the first African-American woman to win the World Figure Skating Championship. She was also the first black athlete to ever win a medal at the Winter Games. So that's the good part of her story. The bad part, well, she later learned that she was bipolar, and then it affected endorsement deals. And anyway, long story short, she went bankrupt. I don't know why I'm adding this to you. Let's just go back to she won a world championship. But no. In real life is sometimes brutal. And, she's on the upswing once again, she is no longer practicing medicine. She was practicing medicine at one point, and she doesn't do that anymore. Now she is practicing hypnotizing people is what she does. That is it for our women's today in women's history. And now it is time for our quick hits. Yeah, you son of a bee. Yeah. Matt Gaetz, it turns out, is actually going to be running for re-election in Florida. It just boggles my mind that this guy is not yet behind bars. He is credibly looking at some charges for child sex trafficking. How do you decide to go ahead with a re-election campaign if you are looking at child sex trafficking charges? I mean, is he looking to parlay that into, look what the left is doing to me, and raise money that way? I don't know, but it's crazy. I don't even know how he's still in Congress. How does he still have a seat? Boy. And yeah, so late last week, the New York Times published an article that I guess authenticated Hunter Biden's laptop, said that the laptop in question was actually Hunter's. Okay, what? Joe Biden is still your president. He's still your president. Ain't nothing going to change it, huh? Nothing. Nothing's going to change it. Joe Biden didn't send any emails from Hunter Biden's laptop. Whatever. It's so annoying. Every day there is a hashtag about Hunter's laptop or whatever. It's nonsense. It's a bit, if these guys cared about the rule of law, they would have voted to convict Trump at least one of the 2 times he was impeached. And those were both legitimate impeachments. Go figure. Go figure. And meanwhile, they are still playing along with his grift. The guy, he took 15 boxes worth of classified documents and brought it to Mar-a-Lago. I don't know how much 15 boxes of classified documents looks like, but I'm just going to assume that's a shit ton of paper and a shit ton of secrets, but yeah, by all means, let's focus on the laptop of a guy who has no position in the White House, nowhere near the White House. Yeah, let's focus on him instead of focusing on the $640 million made by Ivanka and Jared because of their access to the White House. Let's ignore that. But yeah, let's totally focus on this laptop. And let me say another thing about this laptop, okay? They love to point out the fact that Hunter Biden was addicted to crack. Let me explain something to you a little bit about, because I know a little something about being addicted to crack. I personally know from firsthand experience, when you are on crack, you say and do a lot of shit that doesn't make any sense at all. You ever heard of the phrase pipe dream? Yeah, because when you are high off of that shit, you will come up with fantastical ideas that seem to make perfect 100% sense when you're high. When you're high, it sounds like the best idea. So you can't take anything that a crack addict says or does or writes. You got to take all that shit with a grain of salt. So yeah, go ahead and chase that. Chase the crack laptop. Go ahead. See what that gets you. For crying out loud. Boy. Oh. Damn, I knew I forgot something. I had a video to share with you that I don't have. But I will explain what it was. There was the trucker convoy that hit DC. Well, it hit DC, and there was one guy on a bicycle riding it crazy slow. You could walk faster than this guy was riding his bicycle, and he was holding up all these trucks for like a mile or longer. It was hilarious, but I'm sorry I don't have that video because it's Monday. This is a typical Monday. Everything is wrong with the show. President Biden, there's talk of him going to Europe. At one point, they were discussing the possibility of him going to Ukraine. I would think, are you smoking crack? Don't send President Biden to a war zone. No, thank you very much. Seriously. Makes no sense. But no, they are talking about him going to Europe, not this week, possibly next week. And I think it's good because, President Biden has brought NATO together in a way many people thought was not possible. A lot of people, they thought it's tremendous that it was able to do this. And President Zelensky is still steadfastly providing that leadership that Ukraine needs right now, to the point where Ukraine is fighting so hard that right now it looks like they are entering a stalemate with Russia. A stalemate. That means neither side has the upper hand, which, come on, you fought. That's like me fighting Mike Tyson to a tie. What? That's crazy. No, but Zelensky, you got to hand it to him and those Ukrainians. They are fighting ferociously. So That's good. Hang on a second. Let me just check my notes here. Okay. Now, the big news is that Russia's top officers, their generals, by the time I put this together, it was 4 top Russian commanders killed. Now, as of today, it's 6. 6 of Russia's top generals have been bumped off. No joke. No joke. And it's getting so bad. It's getting to the point where the oligarchs in Russia, the guys up there with a lot of cash to throw around, some of them are Putin's good buddies or were Putin's good buddies, but they're not enjoying not having access to their cash flow and their juice, their mojo or whatever. Enough so that they're talking about a change in leadership, like the kind of change in leadership that causes people to accidentally, fall out of windows and accidentally poison themselves. It's the sanctions that are doing it. Those crushing sanctions are having an effect. And here's a tweet from the Kyiv Independent, which says Ukraine's military intelligence claim that Russia's elites scheme to overthrow Putin to restore economic ties with Western countries. Alexander Bortnikov, head of FSB security agency, is allegedly being considered as Putin's successor, according to Ukraine's intelligence. Isn't that special? That's special. I love it. At the end of the day, I think that is really, that's the only thing that's going to stop this conflict. Is going to be some guy from Russia who has nothing to lose, and time and opportunity. That's all it takes. Meanwhile, Ukraine is refusing to surrender Mariupol despite a ruthless bombing campaign. All Putin is doing is bombing civilians, lots of civilians. And the refugee situation in Ukraine is officially a humanitarian crisis. There are 10 million people, 10 million Ukrainians that are displaced by this war within the borders of Ukraine. And then there's another 3.3 million plus out that have already evacuated Ukraine. And what we're going to discuss later in our Rising Star is one thing a 19-year-old Harvard student did to help address this situation. And that is that for our quick hits. And let us jump into our timeline cleanse.
Timeline cleanse.
All right. Timeline cleanse. So this first one, I remember back in the days when the internet was new and people were always forwarding these videos about was showing like a monkey sniffing his own butt. Seriously, that there was that one video, you know what it is. He sniffs his finger after touching his butt and he falls out, right? Well, that monkey is now older and wiser. He's not sniffing his own butt anymore. He's getting his friends to do it for him. Or actually, he's just getting his friends to check my butt, please. Look, there's something in there. I swear. Can you check it for me, please? Just check my butt. Let's see. All right. I don't remember if that one was from Philosophy. I know 2 of the 3 videos I have for you, Timeline Cleanse, are from Philosophy. Possibly this next one here has to do with golf. I don't know a whole lot about golf. I know that sometimes when you're playing golf, seriously, I've never played a game of golf in my life, but I do know that if you're playing too slow, people will ask if they can play through. I guess that means like just go right on through your game. So if you happen to be playing golf in Australia, you might get people or creatures asking to play through. They might not even ask.
How's this for golf today? They've all decided to settle in the middle of the fairway.
They've come to watch me tee off. I wouldn't stand there. Oh. What's going on? All right, see ya.
You know, they handled it well. I think I might have been freaked out a bit because that's weird. It's just like it's a whole gang of kangaroos just rolled up on him, and they were just sitting there watching. And there was that big one too, the big one who came across, and then he turned and looked. That would have freaked me out. Okay. Hey, Xander Zork, you made it. You made it, my friend. All right. And last but not least, have you ever played beer pong? If you've played beer pong, I'm here to let you know there's another more complicated, but possibly more satisfying way of playing beer pong. That's crazy. Your brain has to be wired very differently to be able to, look at a room and all the different collection of pieces, the Millennium Falcon toy going down and hitting a bunch of books. Like your brain, how is your brain wired like that to see just the beer pong thing? Very clever. I love it. Oh, it's called, thank you, Samantha Hawkins. It is called the Rube Goldberg machine. Yeah, those things are fascinating as hell to me. Trump Reaper says she wishes she could build a Rube Goldberg machine. Corey Lard says, sounds like they took time to do it and clean the property up. And Maitel Cabelli says, that's crazy. You have to be patient. Patient indeed. And Cindy C, last but not least, she says, damn, you'd be sober having to wait so long between drinks. Very clever. Okay, let us jump right back into our main topic of the day. And our main topic is Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, who is President Biden's nominee for the soon-to-be vacated Supreme Court seat. Justice Breyer is still currently in that seat, but he will be vacating it soon enough, at least as soon as they can get Judge Ketanji Jackson approved. And it looks like it's a foregone conclusion. I don't want to put all my eggs in that basket yet. I also don't want to be on pins and needles about it, but really all we need are all 50 Democrats to go along. And, back in the day, that used to be a slam dunk. What? We just need 50 votes? That's no problem. But, Manchinima, you never know. You never know. I hate to say it. I hate to even have the name come out of my mouth, Manchinima, But, at the end of the day, really, this is something that I can't imagine them not voting for this judge. She is supremely qualified. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Right now, Justice Clarence Thomas is currently in the hospital with flu-like symptoms as of this weekend. Just a pause for effect is all. So I may be praying for something. That's all I'm praying. But yeah, there was a lot of questions raised about the eligibility and the experience of Judge Jackson, and it's ludicrous because she is head and shoulders more qualified than Amy Coney Barrett. She was the one who was rushed through the confirmation process. I think that whole confirmation took 30 some odd days. This one, if everything goes according to plan, should be about 45 days. And typically you want a confirmation, a Supreme Court nominee's confirmation process to take 3 months at least. But the reason why it's so abbreviated for Judge Jackson is because she's already been confirmed by this Senate. They've already seen her. They know her already. She's already been screened and vetted. So it should be reasonably shorter period of time for her to go through this. Judge Barrett was never a judge, never worked in the government as a prosecutor, defense lawyer, solicitor general, or attorney general, or served as counsel to any legislative body. And not only that, but she couldn't even recall more than 3 cases she'd worked on during her brief 2 years in private practice. Let me tell you something. She was only there for 2 years. It's not like she was there for 15 or 20 years and Jesus, there's so many cases I worked on. She's only there for 2 years. 2 years. And you can't tell us what you just worked on? Come on. And don't even get me started on Judge I Like Beer. Don't get me started on this jackass who has a whole lot of serious question marks just about who paid for all his debt. Who bought that Supreme Court seat? Who bought it? Hillary Clinton tweeted this morning. She said, I'd say she's qualified. And she posted this picture that she pulled from the Washington Post. It was an article showing the different qualifications of all of the different justices as compared, when stacked up, as compared to Judge Jackson. And here's a close-up here. She checks all of the boxes: education, public high school, Ivy League law school, career, Supreme Court clerking, public defender, sentencing commission, district judge, court of appeals judge, all of it. Down, all in a row. She's got them all. The one who comes closest to having as many qualifications as she does, Justice Breyer, the justice who she's supposed to be replacing. So this confirmation should be a slam dunk. Back when politics were still relatively normal, this it wouldn't even be an issue. But Senator Grassley today, he led off first Senator Durbin spoke, and then Senator Grassley led off for the GOP, and he said that we're not going to let this devolve into a spectacle, right? But then he pointed out, well, we are kind of entitled to it, especially considering that the confirmation for Justice Kavanaugh was full of so many interruptions by Democrats. And then one by one, each Republican senator pointed out why, we're the victim. We Republicans, we're the victims here of unfair treatment in these confirmation hearings. Our candidates have been treated poorly, completely without a sense of irony whatsoever. Not one of them, of course, mentioned Merrick Garland, the fact that his seat was stolen, the fact that Mitch McConnell blatantly blocked President Obama's pick and said that was his proudest day in his life. And suddenly, woe is us. They took the principle that Mitch McConnell used to block Merrick Garland, and they flipped it on its head to confirm Amy Coney Barrett. That ludicrous bullshit. And all these jackasses with the straight face, they said this shit. Let's see, what did Lindsey Graham say? He said, Lindsey Graham says, we're used to being called racist. So he's already expecting that the things they say and do are going to be interpreted as racist. And you know what? You're right, because they are. Because you showed us who you are. We already know what you're going to do. Ted Cruz is a waste of air. And Josh Hawley, Senator Sedition Fist, got up there and tried to smear Judge Jackson with his bullshit. He was trying to build some kind of case that she is soft on, not only that she's soft on crime in particular, but more specifically, child pornography. He was trying to build some kind of case that, she is soft on child porn offenders. And that is just dirty, foul smearing bullshit. This guy who doesn't even live in Missouri, this guy who is selling mugs with him fist bumping insurrectionists, this one has the audacity. Get the hell out of here. And at some point when this hearing began, Judge Jackson still kind of had like a fake smile on her face, right? Like you could still tell it was a smile, right? She wasn't smiling in the eyes, but the mouth was still smiling, huh? Yeah, she was kind of smiling. And as time wore on, that smile faded into something that looked just like pained tolerance. This is the look that I captured here with this screen grab here. She was just trying to make it through, and we haven't even gotten to her swearing in part yet. Now, it wasn't all bad. Oh my God, I said it wasn't all bad. Marsha Blackburn just basically took a box full of right-wing hot topics and dumped it into her, I don't know what you would call this speech. She was like a deranged kindergarten teacher talking about critical race theory and biological males, and she and she implanted all of this on Judge Brown. Everything that is wrong with America, everything that Republicans hate about liberals, she just pasted Judge Jackson with. And that was just, come on, that was wrong. Now, throughout this whole process, I think the thing that made it easier for Judge Jackson to deal with this is that, oh shit, Karen Purdy, rag-faced blackbird. The thing that I think made it easy for Judge Jackson to deal with this is that there would be one Republican speaking and then one Democrat speaking. And the Democrat, after the attack of the previous Republican, the Democrat came on basically to build her back up and to talk about her, you know, her bona fides, her good points. I never remember how to pronounce that. Anyway, and then Cory Booker said some things.
But there's something that really moved me. Behind you and your family is your daughter, Layla. And when she was 11 years old, I love this, she wrote a letter to President Obama urging him to nominate her mother, you, to the United States Supreme Court. Wow. And in that letter, her recommendation put forward that you, Judge Jackson, would be, quote, a great Supreme Court justice. I suspect after these proceedings, and please God, after your confirmation of the Supreme Court, something new will happen in America. That letter from your daughter will not be exceptional. Generations of little young girls and generations of little young boys, no matter who their parents are, will have the audacity to write the President of the United States, whether they're daughters of white parents or black parents or biracial parents or Muslim and Jewish parents, Sikh or Hindu parents. We're going to see a new generation of children talking about their mamas.
How awesome is Senator Cory Booker? How awesome is that guy, man? he's so ebullient and just full of joy and loving. You know, that his energy is terrific. By the way, I understand it is bona fides, yeah, or as Scribble My Dibbles likes to say, boba fides. Thank you. Yeah, so finally, it was late in the day. It was like 3 or 3:30 in the afternoon. Oh, 3:24. It was 3:24 in the afternoon when Judge Jackson finally raised her right hand and took her oath, and then she proceeded to tell her story. And her story is a great one. You know, she got the motivation to enter law by watching her father study for his exams at the kitchen table. And then she gave a shout out to her hubby. And I'm not going to talk long about that because you guys know me. But you know, he was clearly feeling that. It was a big moment. And overall, I think she is going to be confirmed. You know, she's got too many accomplishments under her belt, way too much experience, you know, and you know, the right, the Republicans, their big complaint is, oh, well, you picked her because she's a black woman. Well, so what? So what? If we didn't specifically focus on picking a black woman, it would have never been picked. You know why? Because there's so few. There's such a small pool of black women who meet those qualifications. Other than that, you know, just look at the whole history of the Supreme Court. It's been white guys. That's it. Nobody else. Up until, 20 years ago, we started getting women in there. Got one black guy, Clarence Thomas, and prior to him, it was Thurgood Marshall. That's it. out of the whole history of the Supreme Court. So yeah, I like the fact that President Biden stepped out and said, I'm going to keep my word. I'm appointing a black woman for the Supreme Court. I love it. I love it. Yeah. You know what? Ronald Reagan did that with Sandra Day O'Connor. Pretty sure that's who it was, right? Yeah, he said he was going to appoint a woman, and he appointed her. You didn't hear any Republicans bitching about that. So President Biden gets his nominee, and unlike what they did with President Obama, you will not deny President Biden, by Jove. All right, let us go ahead and jump on into our guessing game. And today's guessing game, wait, why can't I hear music? Where's the music? Here we go. Today's guessing game is brought to you by the letter Q. No, today's guessing game is Name That Female Movie Villain. It is brought to you by Women's History Month. And, you know, if we're talking about full equality, right, and with between men and women, you know, often it's the man who is the villain. And let me tell you, it's very difficult to find women, female villains. And a lot of these female villains are problematic in so many different ways because they play into stereotypes, right? And I wasn't crazy about it, but again, I'm dealing with a very small pool of candidates to choose from amongst the mainstream type movies that you guys would be familiar with. I could have picked some rando movies, you know, The Third House on the Left or whatever. Who the hell knows that? Right. So I'm going to describe the movie, the plot or whatever, and you guys have to guess either the name of the villain from the movie or the name of the actress who portrayed that villain. Okay, so name either the villain's name, or the actress who portrayed the villain. I'll take either one. Okay, all right. First one. This villain was a bit of an obsessive fan who happened to find her favorite author was badly injured in a car accident, and she brought him back to the house and insisted that he finish his novel. Who is the villain? I'm not singing anything. You guys know what this is? This is one of those key finders. I can change the key, by the way. That was a G. Let's see. Let's change it to a, this is a B flat. All right. I've seen enough. It is very frustrating that the sound of my cowbell is not coming through on the recording. Okay. I said I've seen enough because I was looking for, and I got Kathy Bates. Kathy Bates, and the name of the movie was Misery, but I can't remember this. Wait. Annie. Annie was the name of her character. Yeah. And at the top here, we got Samantha B, followed by Mytel Capelli, Misha Oliver, Lee Saunders, the nurse, no, Susie Brizuela. I'm sorry, when you guys say Misery, I said I need the name of the actress or the character. The character's name is not Misery. The character's name is Annie. Cha-Cha, Shrimp Reaper, Deb B, Jen Murphy, Jamie from Wisconsin, Lucielle, Cindy C, Watcher Soko, Kathleen Cross, Bernadette Ramos, Cha-Cha, Wilbur McCarthy, Lisa Hathaway, Donahue, Lori Donahue, Ben Carlazzo, Corey Lord, Samantha Hawkins, Sarah B. Trump Reaper says Annie Wilkes. That's right. Okay, good job, you guys. Good job. Next one. The female villain in this movie played opposite Michael Douglas, and they got into a hot, torrid affair, only for her to be rudely just discarded by Michael Douglas, who was married and just decided, I'm just going to go back to my married life and later for you. Well, this villain wasn't having it. She didn't like it very much, and she decided to take matters into her own hands and take rabbits into her own hands. That's what she did. A damn rabbit in a pot of boiling water. I've seen enough. We were looking for Glenn Close, and you know what? Can't remember her character's name. It doesn't matter. It's Glenn Close, and she was in the movie Fatal Attraction. But we don't need the name of the movie. We need the name of the actress, and it was Glenn Close. And let's see who's at the top here. Nurse Mitch is at the top, followed by Samantha B. Lee and Gavin Rutherford. Scribble my dibbles. Misha Oliver, Deb B., the Trump Reaper, Cha-Cha, Susie Brizuela, Jen Murphy, Philosophy, Eddie G. Oh, it says it was Alex. Alex was her name. That's from Eddie G. Bernadette H. Lee Saunders, Bernadette Ramos, Watcher Soko, Ben Carlazzo, Lori Donahue, Kathleen Cross, Monique Lee, Gary Lewis. Cindy C says Alex Forrest. Good one. Good one. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Ooh, this one was tough. This one is was about an actress from the old school, the old-timey actress who had an adopted daughter that she didn't treat kindly, and she's especially had an issue with wire hangers. Wire hangers. She didn't want any more wire hangers. By the way, just for the record, this movie creeped me the hell out, but I saw it like 5 times. When I was a kid, I was like a teenager, maybe 12, 13. Whew. I've seen enough. We're looking for Joan Crawford or Faye Dunaway. Joan Crawford was the name of the character. The actress was Faye Dunaway. And it's for the movie Mommy Dearest. Let's see. Eddie G is at the top, followed by Jen Murphy. Cha-Cha, Susie Brizuela, Misha Oliver, Scribble My Dibbles, Gary Lewis, you said Mommy Dearest. But you know what? I think I can give you credit for saying Mommy Dearest because that is what she wanted her daughter to call her. So gets partial credit for that. Monique Lee, Nurse Mitch, Samantha Hawkins, Bernadette H, Kathleen Cross, Bernadette Ramos, Watcher Soko, Wilbur McCarthy, Kathleen Cross, Lori Donahue, Lucielle, Ben Carlazzo, Monique Lee, Gary Lewis. Okay, good job, you guys. No more wire hangers. That was terrifying. I tell you, this. If you haven't seen that movie, you get a chance to watch it. It's very good. Okay, next up. This movie, the protagonist, the main character, played opposite a green-skinned woman with magical powers and an army of flying monkeys. And she also happened to have a toxic allergy to water. So we need the name of this villain from this movie. The name of the villain or the actress. It'd be helpful if I knew the name of this actress. Let me see. Wicked Witch. Okay, I've already seen it. Some of you got that right. All right. Seen enough. And we were looking for Margaret Hamilton, aka the Wicked Witch of the West. We would accept either one of those answers. Let's see. Samantha B is at the top with the Wicked Witch, followed by Lee Saunders. Susie Brizuela. Wait, let me just make sure I didn't skip anybody here. Yeah, no. Lee Saunders, Susie Brizuela, Jen Murphy, Cindy C, Nurse Mitch, the Trump Reaper, Scribble of My Dibbles, Cha-Cha. Some of you were confused by the ask here. I didn't need the name of the woman on the screen. I needed the woman who is the bad guy in this movie. Eddie G, Bernadette H, Watcher Soko, Kathleen Cross, Cora Lord, Gavin Rutherford, Asmila J. Oh, Asmila J. By the way, to Asmila J. and your boy Ken and anybody else who's in Texas, I don't know if you guys know, there is a tornado watch warning I saw earlier. Be on the lookout, okay? If you have to go run to a shelter now, please do so. Susie Brizuela, the Trump Reaper, Bernadette H, Bet Carlazzo, Cha-Cha, Misha Oliver, Monique Lee, Lori B, Samantha Hawkins, Sarah B, Gary Lewis, Scott Samuelson, Wilbur McCarthy. Good job, you guys. Very good. Okay, next up. The villain in this movie plays opposite Jack Nicholson, where she plays a health professional whose icy demeanor sent chills up the spines of moviegoers in this movie. Let's see. Okay. All right. I believe I've seen enough. We were looking for Nurse Ratched. And at the top we have Eddie G, followed by Lee Saunders, Scribble My Dibbles, Cha-Cha, Samantha B, Susie Brizuela, Foxhill Dreams, Jen Murphy, Asmila J, Watcher Soko, Gary Lewis, Deb B, Samantha Hawkins, Maital Cabelli, Misha Oliver, Bernadette H, Nurse Mitch, Cindy C, Scott Samuelson, Kathleen Cross, Bernadette Ramos, Monique Lee, Wilbur McCarthy, Laurie Donahue, Ben Carlazzo, Good job, you guys. Good job. Okay, here's the next one. The villain of this movie played opposite Chris Hemsworth as Thor and his brother Loki, Tom Hiddleston, and she was their royal, powerful sister. Who was the sister of Thor and Loki? This is from the movie Thor Ragnarok. Philosophy thinks it's Jethro Tull. All right, I've seen enough. This one stumped you guys. Not many fans of Thor Ragnarok in the house today. We were looking for Hela, and she was Hela Evil in this, also played by Kate Blanchett. I would have accepted Kate Blanchett as well. Kate Blanchett. Oh, that's funny. Susie Briswell was asking who was the actress of Nurse Ratched, and you know it's funny. I didn't even occur to me. I just knew Nurse Ratched. If I ever saw her in another movie, I would have been like, "That's Nurse Ratched." Let's see. Scribble my dibbles. Look at you at the top. And this might be your second time, maybe at the top. I don't remember if you made it more than that. Let's see. Lucy L, Eddie G, Susie Briswella, Maital Cabelli, Watcher Soko, Misha Oliver, Samantha Hawkins, Bernadette H, Wilbur McCarthy, Nurse Mitch, Philosophy, Bernadette Ramos. Oh, that's right, Nurse Mitch with the answer for that other question. Louise Fletcher, Scott Samuelson jumps in. So Louise Fletcher was Nurse Ratched. Okay, good job, you guys. Let's move on to the next one. The villain of this movie has a penchant for spotted canines. Spotted canines. Spotted canines. Spotted canines. That's all I got. Who is this villain? Villainess. Evil. This evil woman. Who could she be? I don't know why I use that accent right now. All right, I've seen enough. The villain is none other than Cruella de Vil, who's been played by numerous actresses. I couldn't tell you who did the voice in the animated one, but it was Glenn Close in one live action movie, and then there was the one in the movie called Cruella de Vil, Emma Stone. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie G once again is at the top, followed by Lee Saunders, Asmila J, Cindy C, Susie Briswella, Foxhill Dreams, Misha Oliver, Maital Cabelli, Jen Murphy, Scribble My Dibbles, The Trump Reaper, Cha-Cha, Samantha B, Lucy L, Bernadette H, Gary Lewis, Samantha Hawkins, Watcher Soko, Kathleen Cross, Nurse Mitch, Scott Samuelson. Was Meryl Streep ever? I don't remember Meryl Streep ever playing Cruella. Paula Freitas, Wilbur McCarthy, Gavin Rutherford, the Trump Reaper, Laurie Donahue, Monique Lee, Sarah B, Corey Lord, Ben Carlazzo. Gary Lewis says Cruella was pro-Putin. Let's see. Got another person saying Meryl Streep. No, Close. Glenn Close. Yep. Okay, good job, you guys. Let's move on to the next one. This one's going to be tough. The villain of this movie played opposite Ben Affleck. She played a wife who was a writer, a famous writer, aka Amazing Amy, and she suddenly disappeared, which led people to believe that Ben Affleck, her loving, doting husband, had murdered her. But she was, in fact, quite alive and quite well, but also quite evil. Oh, my goodness. You know what? I don't know the name of this actress, so I will take the name of the movie. I'll take the name of the movie for this one. I don't know the name of the actress or the character. Believe it or not, I did have time to prepare this, and my mind just totally blanked on the name of the actress. I'm gonna have to look it up now. Hang on. There it is. Okay. All right. I've seen enough. The name of the actress was Rosamund Pike. The name of her character was Amy Dunn. And the name of the movie is Gone Girl. If you said Gone Girl, I will take it. I will accept it. And look at that. Let's see. Okay, who's it? Scribbling my devils. There you go. She says Gone Girl. Don't know her name. But let's see. The next one, Lee Saunders. Cha-Cha. Cindy C with the name of the character, Amy Dunn. Well done, Cindy C. Nurse Mitch. Watcher Soko. Asmila J says Jetharina Tull. Nurse, no. Susie Brizuela. Misha Oliver. Eddie G with the name of the actress, Rosamund Pike. Samantha Hawkins. Samantha B. Gary Lewis. By the way, this was actually a very good movie. Very good. Let's see. Jen Murphy, Misha Oliver. Yeah, excellent movie. Disturbing. Let me just put it like that. Disturbing movie. Disturbing. Okay. You've been warned. Watch it, but disturbing. Next up. The villain of this movie has a penchant for wearing pink, and perhaps that is to disguise the blackness of her magical heart. Who is the villain? Who is the pink-clad villain of this Harry Potter movie? Lee Saunders says, don't do Harry P. All right. I've seen enough. We were looking for Dolores Umbridge. And at the top here, I have Mytal Cabelli with Umbridge the Toad. Followed by Corey Lord, Susie Brizuela, Samantha Hawkins, the Trump Reaper, Wilbur McCarthy, Tina G, Watcher Soko. I gave you guys a tough one this time. Susie Brizuela. That's it. Good job, you guys. That one was tough. I'll admit. Okay, here's the next one. This is the last one, actually. The villain of this movie was the editor of a famous fashion magazine. One that the employees were all frightened of, including her assistant, played by Anne Hathaway, in this famous movie. All right, I've seen enough. We were looking for Meryl Streep, also known as Miranda Priestley, from the movie The Devil Wears Prada. Let's see. Who do I have at the top here? Once again, Eddie G on a roll today. Excuse me. Followed by Cha-Cha, Jen Murphy, Samantha B. Esmila J, you're close there. I mean, you did say that lady's boss, but yeah, I need the name. The name. Scott Samuelson, Nurse Mitch, Gavin Rutherford, Lisa Hathaway, Lee Saunders with Merrill Bloody Autocorrect, Wilbur McCarthy, Watcher Soko, Scribble My Dibbles, Lucy L., Susie Brizuela, Samantha Hawkins, Gary Lewis, Ben Carlazzo, Corey Lord, Cindy C., Linda Taylor. Okay. Good job, you guys. Very good. Very good. Very good. Thank you for playing the game with me as you do every day. I enjoy it so much. Thank you so much. And now it is time for not You Raggedy Bish, but a rising star.
Hooray! Rising star.
Rising star. Okay, and today's rising star, we go to, for today's rising star, we go to Ukraine. Ukraine, where, as I mentioned earlier, the evacuees and the Ukrainians who are displaced within their own country are just, they're well into the millions. 10 million displaced within Ukraine, 3.3 million who've evacuated Ukraine. It is a desperate and dire situation where people are basically holed up wherever they can, whether it's in a shelter, you know, or at an underground subway station. It's no type of, it's just a horrible situation. It's no type of way to keep your kids safe. They're keeping their kids safe any way they possibly can. They're faced with unreal, just a terrible, terrible situation. And so a young man who attends Harvard University, he's 19. He is already created, this is him right here. His name is Avi Schiffman. Avi Schiffman has created an application, a software called Ukraine Take Shelter. Yeah. And this puts people in touch with, it puts Ukrainians in touch with people who are willing to put them up. This is the same kid who, not too long ago, it was a year or two ago, created a software, a website to track COVID data, to accurately track it. This kid, he's just got, some kids are spending their time and energy playing video games, playing Fortnite or whatever. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. But other kids, they see further and they want to help. And that's this kid here, Avi Schiffman. Fantastic. His parents are proud as shit of him. Here's the website he did, the COVID website that comes up with accurate statistics, the data for confirmed cases and how many people died, and et cetera, et cetera. And I actually went to this website, Ukraine Take Shelter. This is a screenshot of me. And I just typed in Mariupol, which is, by the way, it's horrible, the devastation and the destruction in Mariupol is horrible. But imagine you were there, and you needed to get out. So this field here, it lets you type where you are, right? This is for both people who are trying to escape as well as people who want to offer their home as a refuge for these people trying to get away. So I just typed in Mariupol, and then the next page it takes you is how many people do you have, must allow pets if you have a pet, it's like an Airbnb for Ukrainian evacuees. It's fantastic. And then below there it says, I will accept refugees with families. Children are welcome. 3-room apartment. Bada bing, bada boom. It says 8 spaces, pets allowed, kid friendly. I mean, this is just amazing. It's something so simple, but something so critical. And let me just read you what the kid said, why he did this. It's like a Craigslist for Ukrainian refugees. People are offering spare rooms or a couch to sleep on in their homes all around the world. He said, I realized that the tools out there to help refugees find places to stay were really subpar. Many of these refugees are escaping on foot amid explosions and shelling. They are stressed and confused and scared, and they are in new countries where they don't understand the language. And then they are just expected to go on to a government website that is full of jargon and nonsense and wait to be matched with someone to somewhere to stay. Whew, boy. And you guys wonder why Brooklyn Dad is so weepy. I see things like this, and it's just, every time you lose faith in humanity, you just look around, and there's stuff every day that you can find to restore your faith in humanity. Like if you were an alien looking at Earth, trying to determine whether or not you should destroy the planet, you look at Trumpers and you're like ready to hit that button, the button. But then if you look at kids like Avi Schiffman, or Cory Booker, or other wonderful people, and you think to yourself, all right, I'm going to destroy them today. Maybe tomorrow, but not today. So thank you, Avi Schiffman, for giving aliens a reason not to blow our planet up. And thank you guys for joining me for another wonderful episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad. And I just want to remind you guys, well, first of all, if you have not yet gotten your shot, please do so. The boost, most important, is the booster. I don't think they're doing fourth boosters or, the shot number 4 unless you are in a high risk category. But if you do feel inclined to wear a mask, please do so. Also, keep your social distance 6 feet or better. And have a lovely, relaxing evening. As I mentioned earlier, tomorrow I will be recording an interview with Lindy Lee. So if you have any questions for the young lady, please DM me, send me a message, and send me the question, and I will take it and I will ask her, and bada bing, bada boom. That's how it will happen. And you guys can see the show on Wednesday. It was a big success, by the way. If you guys helped out with retweeting or telling your friends, thank you for that. We had a lot of people watching the show on Friday, which was great. I hope to have the same thing on Wednesday. So until then, I will see you same time, same place. I love you all. Peace. Oh, wait. Damn it. You know what? Until I figure this shit out, I got to give you the old intro, outro. Peace, you guys. Peace.